Hello, this is Connie Neininger with Hoosiers for Renewables, a grassroots organization providing education on the facts of renewable energy, advocating to increase the use of renewable energy in Indiana, and celebrating the successes with communities across our great state. I'm excited to be talking today with Shweta Singh, Assistant Professor with Purdue University. She works in the Agricultural and Biological Engineering Department and the Environmental and Ecological Engineering Department. Your study suggested that even something like 500 megawatt installation would have an impact in the state and in other places too, correct?
So yeah, thank you, Connie, for inviting me, and it's great to talk to you. So what we did in our study, we did a very modest addition of 500 megawatt in top 10 states that amounted to 5,000 megawatt in total, which is just about 5% of our current renewable energy capacity. And what we found was there was about $24 billion impact in those 10 states, which is a huge amount, and about $3 billion of spillover impact, which we call that. This was outside those states which were not directly implementing renewable energy. And that is because of the multi-regional input-output that captures these interdependencies between these states. So yeah, those are huge numbers. And if we increase more portfolio, obviously I would expect to see much larger numbers.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the general research, especially the economic impact of renewable energy?
One of the questions which is at the heart of many transitions of technologies in society is how does it help people, or how does it improve lives of people? And that's where I got really interested in understanding the economic impact, because economy plays such a big role in improving people's lives.
You stated that wind energy projects benefit communities. Please explain how that works.
Yes, and that's a huge part. Any renewable energy expansion has a lot of activities such as planning phase, site selection, and then manufacturing, logistics, and all of that touches different aspects of the economic sectors. So yeah, local job opportunities in operations and maintenance and transportation sector, construction sectors, all of that happens, but also other kind of sectors like financial and legal advising, health impact assessment, and geotechnical expertise. So yeah, it touches a lot of different employment sectors that expands into community. But also from the revenue generated and the investment that happens in the community, the infrastructure that expands indirectly affects bringing new businesses to the community, and also the service sectors, because there will be improved expenses that are happening in the local community.
So at this time, we know jobs and industries are struggling. So how can you benefit jobs and industries with renewable energy projects?
So from the planning phase till the installation phase to operations and maintenance, and then when the end of life happens about 20 years later, you have decommissioning phase. So all of this presents kind of a value chain of long-term employment opportunities that can be utilized in a way to provide local opportunities. So for example, if we decide that this is a site where we are going to develop there would be planners engaged, there will be local planners and experts that will be talking, so there will be financing and those kind of things that will spur more activity into that, generating jobs in that area. And then when that phase happens, and then there's manufacturing happening, equipment manufacturing, machinery manufacturing, that requires a lot of labor as well, and that increases the opportunities for local community. So as you can see that there's such diverse interconnections and networks that get affected. It's not only the energy sector that will get affected. So that's one way we can definitely go towards building a more renewable and more sustainable economy in the future.
So if a wind project came to a typical Hoosier community, what would be different for the people who live there? What tangible benefits could they expect to see based on your study? And how does life improve?
In our study, when we studied these 10 states, like I said, it had $24 billion of economic activity within the state, which averages to about 2.4 billion. So while we have not done a quantitative study on Indiana, which we can do in future, I would expect similar order of magnitude of economic activity, which is huge, because if you think about it, then it will increase the expenditures. It will also increase the reinvestments and services and all those sectors. So and attracting new businesses, which will spur to new educational activities, raising awareness, and that also leads to future generation education. So I can definitely see a lot of cascading impact that can happen of any kind of new projects in these lines.
So while your study focused on the 10 largest wind-producing states, what can you say about how, as Hoosiers, we might think about the impacts both regionally and directly?
So yeah, one very interesting finding for our research was that the sector that got maximum impact was manufacturing sector, and we all know that Indiana is kind of a leader in manufacturing sector. And when I looked at the numbers, the spillover impact for the renewable energy projects elsewhere was about $50 million for Indiana for the manufacturing sector, and that is just a huge number. So because Indiana provides all these manufacturing services to those states, that led to even positive impact indirectly to Indiana. So yeah, and this is just the indirect impact. So imagine if we were doing it within our states, there would be much larger impacts.
So we need more renewable energy.
Well, yes.
So what should these results say to our state's residents and to our local government officials?
Well, I would say it's a huge opportunity for sustainable development right here in Hoosier State. So we should definitely look deeper into these opportunities with all the stakeholders involved, communities engaged, and talk further about how we can move forward for our future generation to benefit from these advancements in technology.
Thank you so much, Shweta, for taking the time to share your thoughts into the economic benefits of renewable energy across the U.S. and especially in Indiana. I look forward to working with you and Purdue University to promote renewable energy in Indiana. Thank you from Hoosiers for Renewables, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Connie. I hope you too. And thank you so much for taking your time to talk to us.